Hello everyone and welcome to our channel RoseandRagh.
So today we'll be covering a really interesting topic for you, which is how to rent an accommodation in the UK.
Yes.
So we've categorized this into different points just to help you find out which is the best place to rent, what sort of criteria should you be looking at, so on and so forth. So stay tuned guys, this is a lovely vlog.
Wonderful. So in order to find an accommodation, there are several ways. One of the most prominent way is to go to your local letting agent.
Yeah.
So that's one way. And the second way is to find out a landlord. By all means, you can check out like websites like Gumtree and stuff. And also the third method, which is finding the houses for rent and online like Zoopla,
Yeah.
as well as the Rightmove. So when it comes to the first step, like finding a landlord, private landlord, do you think is it safe or how does it work?
I would definitely suggest getting in touch with a letting agency. So these guys will have contacts of all the landlords and all the vacant houses within your area or the areas that you're targeting at. And that way you will have a mediator in the middle. So there'll be a proper transparency in communication and in different conditions that go into your contract and things like that.
Right.
So we would recommend that. It's just so you have another person who's actually communicating on your behalf as well.
Right.
And that way it makes the process easier because obviously it's a new country, you don't know how things work, etc.
Absolutely.
So having somebody as a mediator would always be helpful.
And by the way, if you approach the letting agents, they will not charge you any fees. So that's good as well. I mean, because they will have some type with the landlords.
Yeah,
Cool.
so they are there to help you. So make sure you make use of that option for sure.
Absolutely. And the second foremost thing is how much should be the deposit?
Yeah. So how much do you think?
Right. The deposit, the thumb rule is it should not exceed more than 6 weeks.
6
So if
weeks,
someone
yes.
is asking you like pay for 6 months, no. Say no. Because there is no such.
Because legally, I think 6 weeks
Yes.
is the right period.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course, you can negotiate, I think, based on what they say, but the legal requirement is 6 weeks.
Yes, absolutely. And the third question, how long do you want the tenancy for like?
Yeah. So usually the contract terms will say at least a minimum of 6 months, and then it will keep on rolling based on what kind of conversation you have with your landlord, but the minimum period is 6 months.
6 months.
So make sure when you are actually looking at your contract, you read through the whole contract. It will be like a big sort of booklet as well in some cases. Take your time, take a day or two. Don't be in a rush, don't be in a hurry, because there will be many clauses that you may miss out on. Eventually after you sign and when something happens and you may feel like, oh, I wasn't told about this, and then they will say it's mentioned in your contract. So
that's important.
Yeah, that's absolutely very, very important. So don't miss out on reading your contract properly. If you don't understand any clauses, make sure you speak to them.
Absolutely.
Try and clarify what it actually says.
Yes.
So that is the minimum requirement.
And also when you sign the contract, make sure you keep this contract in a safe place, or at least scan and keep a soft copy, because you will definitely need it for your visa extensions and whatnot, for everything.
Yeah.
Cool. And the next one, what can you afford, as in how should we actually check the affordability, like how much rent you should be actually paying for?
So 35% of what you earn
Yes.
should ideally be okay to
Yes,
actually
ideally, yes.
Yeah.
If you can categorize like I can only afford like 35% of your earnings, because this will keep you in a safer place, because you have to pay again your bills and stuff. So if you're considering, you need to consider all those factors.
Yeah, so rent is just in isolation, guys. Rent is separate. Then on top of that, you will have to pay your utility bills, which is your water bill, your gas bill, your electricity bill, and then there's council tax as well. We've kind of covered this a bit in our earlier vlog, which is about cost of living in the UK. Please do check out the different categories there as well. However, these are the different categories that we can think of.
Absolutely. And what areas do you think we should target in order to check for the rent for accommodation? So
safety is obviously very, very important, guys. So you have certain websites where it will sort of give you an idea of how safe the area is.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of stuff happening as it happens in every country, of course. There are some areas where there's knife crimes going on, mugging, etc. going on. And obviously you don't want to be bothered by all these crazy problems. So make sure you do a postcode check, what kind of area it is, what kind of parks are around, what kind of schools are around, different checks that you generally would do.
Yes.
And then make that executive decision of moving in.
Cool. And what kind of documents people should be ready with? Like for example, most of the immigrants, you need to have your valid passport, valid visa card, and that should be okay, because they will be definitely asking you these kind of documents from you. But if you are a working professional, I'm sure your letting agents will ask you like they have to perform like a credit check on your file, and probably a HR letter. So only few letting agents.
Yeah.
Cool. And then do you have the rent, right? Will you need a rent guarantee? This depends upon, different letting agents to different letting agents. So it's not necessary that you have to show a guarantor, but it depends. Just in case, if anyone asks you if you have friends already in the UK, that should be fine.
Should be fine, yeah.
Cool. And then smoking and pets.
Yeah.
What exactly we need to confirm with the landlords or letting
So in
agents?
some areas, of course, smoking is prohibited. In most buildings, obviously, there is a designated smoking area outside most buildings. But in some apartments or houses or areas, pets are not allowed.
Yes.
So you need to check all these criteria before you actually decide to move in. If you're a pet owner, then obviously you'll have to reconsider your option.
Yes.
And if you're into smoking and stuff, just make sure it's safe and you've got those designated areas to smoke as well.
Absolutely, because this is the most important thing. Most of the people actually think that, I don't need to take permission or I don't need to check for the pets, but then you will have so much trouble laterwards, because some of my friends actually had that problem.
Yeah.
So please make
each
sure.
area will have its own rule. Like I said, you've got to read your contract because it will all be in there anyway. Otherwise, also, verbally you can ask them all these doubts and it should be fine.
Cool. And then, do we need to check for any fixtures or any fittings?
That's the primary thing. In fact, one of the most significant points here is that when you go for your viewing and then you've made that decision of actually moving into this home, make sure you take a thorough look everywhere around, whether it's the walls, the paints, the carpets, the stairs, everything, the doors, if there are any scratches. Even a minute thing like a scratch could actually be very vital, because when you move in and when you will be moving out, you may have some people coming and saying, oh, this scratch wasn't there when you moved in, so you'll have to pay to fix that, and then the bill gets adding on.
Absolutely.
So you have to be very, very careful. Have like a record, a video diary, or at least some sort of photographic diary with you, just to have a clear understanding of what the house looked like when you moved in.
Yes.
So you're handing it over in the same condition to them while you're moving out.
Absolutely. If you think these things are not necessary, ask me, because I have a wonderful experience with all this.
Yeah. He does. So it's very important. We tend to not look at these things, but it's very important. Even if there's like minute scratch or some sort of paint on the carpet or something, you need to inform that this has already been there and I'm moving in with this or whatever. Or either they fix it and move it. And the other thing is, even your heaters and things like that, just make sure they're all working and in good condition, because eventually you will obviously need heaters. If you're moving in summer season, post that you will definitely need heaters, because throughout the year pretty much it's a cold country, so come on. So make sure that your landlords provide you with the best heaters as well.
Absolutely. And do you think people should be considerate of the bills and stuff? Do they need to take the readings of the meter readings of?
Yes, absolutely. So each time, obviously, when you've decided to move into a property, make sure you make a note of the water bill reading, the water meter reading, the gas meter reading, and the electric meter reading as well. And then you call up the relevant service provider, and tell them that you're a new tenant, and this is the meter reading for you from now on. So what this ensures is, whatever the previous person has used, or if they've paid or not paid it, it won't be added to your account. Your account will freshly start from this reading. So that is what it ensures as well.
That's cool. And then, do you think people should think about the safety and environment? Do they have to worry about the safety and environment?
Yeah, so that's where you would obviously do a postcode check. Just make sure that the area is safe, because especially when you're coming from a different country, you don't want to be stuck in an unsafe house.
Yes.
Because come on, you're from a different country and then you don't know the different sort of things that happen around.
Absolutely.
And you're stuck for 6 months. You cannot just go and break your contract, else you'll end up paying double and stuff like that.
And also the environment, by all means, you need to check whether your steps and stairs and everything is safe or not. And also if any wires are coming out, also the boiler is working or not, and whatnot. Like if it is a furnished house, you need to make sure whether the appliances are all good to go.
The furniture, the electric appliances, everything, literally the lights, the everything. Like you
furniture as well, because you never know. I mean, let's say you think everything is perfectly fine and you just jump on the bed and
it breaks, then you obviously will end up paying for it. So just make sure, test everything before you move on. Even like a simple thing like a chair, just sit on it, make sure it's not broken, the legs and everything is intact. I know it sounds stupid, but trust me, when you move out, all these things will come in handy. Just you're keeping a record of yourself, that this is how the condition of the house is while I'm moving, and this is how it is while I'm moving out. It will make it an easier transition between you and your landlord.
Cool. And the next one, regarding the meter readings, we already had this thing, and contract, so you already mentioned about it, and check for any repairs, we already mentioned about it, and these are the main things you need to check out for. And please don't be in a rush. So even if you are in a rush, please make sure you take all those consideration things into
Important
consideration.
points, takeaway points from this video is read your contract thoroughly. If you don't understand any clauses, make sure you speak to your letting agent or your landlord and get it clarified.
Absolutely.
Check all the conditions of every room, every gadget, every equipment, every appliance in your house that you're
Yes.
trying to move into, and make a note of what's working, what's not working, so the communication is clear between you and your landlord.
Absolutely. And also we already have this vlog of how much
It
gonna be
costs,
the cost.
what's the cost of living in the UK? In our
UK.
previous vlog, we covered about the different taxes and things like that. So
Yes.
you can check out that vlog as well for more information. And if you've got any questions on this vlog, please feel free to drop in your suggestions in our comment section, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
And if you are a first time viewer, please don't forget to share and subscribe, and also put your thoughts in the comments. And thanks for your time, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, see you soon. Stay happy. Bye.